Everything's fine on 93.9 Dublin South FM.
We are continuing with the other series that is the real enemy of, which is related to the election as well, in fact, real enemy of India. And Sharad Awasthi, our London correspondent, is still here with me with this beautiful clip that he has put together called A Real Enemy of India. So, Sharad, you take it away.
Thank you, Mr. Zaidi, for the opportunity. It is always good to be here again. Dear listener friends, hope you all are doing well. And WhatsApp University is keeping you busy along with other social media platforms. As the Indian elections draw to close, a disturbing trend has emerged, fueled by divisive rhetoric, and that is demonizing the Muslims as infiltrators. And that is done by no other than our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi. So this alarming narrative has sparked concern among many Indians, and it has prompted them to examine into the issue of infiltration. I undertook a basic research, not using much of my intelligence, but it became apparent that while there are infiltrators in India, the most terrifying among them is certainly not what Mr. Modi is targeting. It is very easy to recognize that most dangerous infiltrator is eroding the very fabric of Indian society itself. And the infiltration takes the form of communal discord, distrust, and prejudice. And it is sowing seeds of division and discord among communities that have coexisted for centuries. So this infiltrator has the potential to destroy the pluralism and the democracy of India. So who is this and who got this infiltrator into India? Again, with my basic research, I came across a news item of Guardian newspaper here in London, and this is dated 20th May, some 7 days ago. And it was referring to a report by 3 non-profit human rights organizations. It's a terrifying article, and the report by these human rights organizations is equally fearful of things happening in India. So briefly, the 3 organizations are EKO. It's a people-powered campaign organization and has 22 million members across the globe, and it holds corporations to account. The other one is India Civil Watch International, and it consists mainly of Indian diaspora based out of North America. And the other is the foundation, the London Story, and it is based out of Netherlands. So what the report finds is that the country, India, is experiencing high surge in online shadow political advertising, and that it is severely damaging the fabric of India's democracy. Interestingly, this report also finds that the Bharatiya Janata Party is using the Meta platform, that is the Facebook platform, to disseminate advertisements which are supporting the Prime Minister. The report analyzes the distortion that is caused by paid advertisement on social media, and specifically by Meta platforms and WhatsApp. So this report also analyzed the advertisement library and found how the advertisers, the shadow advertisers, exploited this virtual tool to push a coordinated disinformation campaign. So it is not an informative campaign, but a disinformation campaign. So what is a shadow campaign? So it refers to the spending done by the political parties, and the source of money is either undisclosed or difficult to trace. So they use surrogate campaigners, and they are also parts and branches who facilitate a paid promotional campaign for political parties, and they help to navigate and run these campaigns. And what they are able to do is bypass or circumvent the electoral finance laws and the general campaign and political campaigning restrictions by the Election Commission of India. Further, the report actually concludes that Meta has been permitting far-right groups in India, and these groups have actually exploited the election ads to spread disinformation, hate speeches, and harmful conspiracy theories. The report has also revealed that there is an extensive network of publishers who are aligned with the ruling BJP, and they propagate Islamophobia, smear campaigns, divisive narratives, and they are able to target voters with harmful messaging. So these ads have been able to reach millions of the social media users, and they have only fostered a climate of fear and misinformation, falsehood in polarizing the society. On the other side, Meta, the Facebook parent company, has been incapable of responding to these challenges, and has failed to moderate the content linked to election disinformation. The Meta works on a toxic, we can say so, it works on a toxic business model, and this is purely driven by engagement matrices. So they are able to target which place, which location, which kind of age group, and have created a very fertile ground for the far-right groups to exploit this particular time. So Meta is not new to such kind of issue. They have been scandals regarding the Brexit campaign, which changed the entire composition of the European Union, the Cambridge Analytica, the Trump election, the Stop the Steal movement, and this has been a platform which has been misused by political actors. In the process, Meta has earned billions of dollars in its yearly advertising revenue, and this revenue has precedence over content moderation efforts, and had added only systemic vulnerabilities, and have given a platform to the bad actors without accountability. So, talking of infiltrators, who let Meta run their toxic business into India? So Meta, the Facebook company, like other international companies, are operating in India, and they must comply with Indian data privacy laws and regulations. That's given. There are a few of them, but the most significant is the Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. And it is an act of parliament to provide for the digital personal data regulation. But for some reason, as you can guess, the transfer of personal data outside India using these platforms is relaxed. So basically, there is no data localization required for these companies when they are operating in India. This means that the personal data of yours and mine can move outside India to another country for the use which they best feel so. While in case of European Union and the US, the data has to be localized. That means the data of the residents of European Union and United States will stay within the territory of Europe and America. It's a little bit more complicated, but bottom line is that Indian resident citizen data can move outside India without any restrictions. So there is another side story with reference to Meta. TikTok, another Chinese app, a social media platform, was prevalent in India and was one of the top 2 social media platforms and growing at a very high rate. But then something happened on the borders of India and China, and TikTok was banned in India on 29th of June 2020, some 4 years ago. At the time, TikTok had some 200 million Indians on its platform. At the same time, Facebook had nearly the same number of users in India. TikTok being Chinese, it was very difficult to administer the app. And while Facebook was much more flexible and obedient to the Indian government. So there was a natural bend for the Facebook to continue in India. But hang on, there is another reason. Why was TikTok suddenly banned? Couple of months before TikTok was banned in India in the April of 2020, Meta, the parent company of Facebook, and Reliance Industries had entered into a significant strategic partnership amounting to roughly $6 billion or about 45,000 crores investment into Reliance's Geo platform. Now we know that this group has an allegiance to which political parties, and we now know why Meta has been welcomed into India while it continues to destroy the democratic mindset and the fabric of the coexistence of Indian society. So that's it from me. Hope, dear friends, you have the answer to who is the real infiltrator into our society, into our mindset, into our democracy. And you also now know roughly who led them into our country, who had opened the doors to these real infiltrator. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate your feedback as usual. See you once again next week with another real infiltrator. Bye for now.
Dublin South FM.